Hi, and welcome back to the iRig tutorial series. This is the final video about the eyelid rig, and what we need to do is the iris and pupil skinning as well as the squash and stretch waiting for the lattice. So for now we have a pretty nicely functional eyelid rig with a nice blink, which also can go to negative values, by the way, which is a pretty neat effect. And if you select the eyeball control, you will see the iris and pupil attributes, which are not functional yet, since the joints need to be skinned. So if we select the irig group component and unhide the joints, we can get an idea about how these pupil and iris joints are functioning. So when I modify the iris size, you can see that they are moving and scaling accordingly, dependent on the iris radius and the eyeball sphere radius. So it's a simplified rig for the iris and pupil, but it serves the purpose pretty well. Um, First, you want to double check the settings for the iris radius, though, in the eye component attributes. Go to initial pupil size and make sure this value is usually 0.5 or whatever ratio the pupil size has related to the iris, which was explained in the first video about the eyes guiding. So if the pupil is half size of the iris, it should be a value of 0.5. Also make sure that the cornea has been flagged and the iris has been built with these settings. So once we have confirmed that, we can go ahead and select the pupil and iris joints. The ball joint has already been assigned, and apply them to the eyeball geometry. Let's do the same for the right side. And if we isolate this object, we can go ahead with the skinning. So we can select the centermost vertex of the pupil, grow, and flood the skinning. Here we are working in interactive mode, which is fine. And we will go ahead with the iris. Can select this vertex loop, grow, and flood the weights here. And yeah, all we have to do now is actually smooth the weights for the connecting loops. And also smooth these weights for the outer loops. Same for this one. And then we should already be pretty close to a functional iris rig. Let me hide the joints again. So the iris is functional, the pupil also scales. Looks like we need more weighting here, actually. Right, this has been applied to the ball joint because we have been working in interactive mode. It's probably always a better idea to keep working in post mode unless you are comfortable with locking the joints. Yeah, let me actually just lock this one here and do this smoothing again. Let me first select this joint, and smoothing should work here. There we go. And let's select this one. Here we go. Yeah, this should be pretty good. Yeah, so now the pupil scales nicely. Might want to do some more adjustments here, more smoothing. This should be pretty good. We can squash them. This, by the way, if you don't want to build the squashing, there's an option for it in the component attributes. So that's the iris and pupil skinning. And now let's take a look at the squash weights. So the squash controls have been graded, uh, guided by the eyeball radius, the eyeball dimensions. So they are located here. These are those corner controls. Some of them are hidden here. So there's no specific guiding for those, um, but you can always use a script component to move them to the desired spot. Um, and I might also add uh, an extra guide for these controls in the future. So let's take a look at the lattice weights. It's on the paint weights lattice. We bring this up, and these are the delta marsh weights. No, I want to go to the lattice. Let's go this way. Yeah, here we go. Let's start by flooding with 0 and apply weights to the entire area here. Actually, we might want to simply select a loop and grow. And we basically want to weight, yeah, pretty much the entire area here. Flood with 1. And then we can actually smooth it like this. And then we can do some more fine tuning here. So you can weight this to your liking. And then we can mirror these weights mirror the former weights. Yeah, I think yeah, we need to use a script for it, or you can also use the bare tools where under skinning you have some deformer tools where you can easily mirror the lattice weights and any other extra deformer weights like delta mush and such. So we can pick the source deformer and the target deformer, which is the right side. So from left to right, and then the geometry, which is the same, and just hit mirror weights. All right, so that's pretty much it about the final skinning adjustments. Always make sure to save everything, save deform, save setup. You can also hit save all if you like. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next one where we will go through the eyebrow rig. Thank you.